Travis Hunter's partner has raised all the red flags and has people from all walks of life trying to put him up on game, from Bow Wow to Deion Sanders. But there is one man who has done more to open Travis's eyes than all of them combined. And hopefully, Travis soon realizes that Jonathan Luther Majors ran down the streets of New York City after midnight so that he wouldn't have to. So Travis Hunter has just won the most prestigious award in college football, basically being crowned the top player due to his outstanding performance, great ability, and pursuit of excellence with integrity, diligence, perseverance, and hard work. He's renowned for playing both offense and defense with a level of skill that has garnered him over $5.2 million in personal name, image, and likeness deals from companies like Adidas, EA Sports, and United Airlines. This young man has not only refused to take money from his team's collective NIL deals, but has also used some of the money he's made from his individual deals to help fund at least 10 to 15 of his fellow teammates. This young king's accomplishments are phenomenal and deserve to have their own dedicated spotlight. Instead, they have been overshadowed by the actions of his longtime girlfriend of 5 years, who he has now chosen to share the spotlight with him as his fiancée. The only problem is, his fiancée's own actions and words prove that she is a stranger, and not in the way you think.
I was in the middle of outgrowing partying, but I still partied a lot. And I don't know if y'all know this, but he doesn't drink at all. Even though he's legal to drink, he doesn't drink. And I'm Hispanic, so I have tequila in my veins. So I drink. I don't drink a lot, but I drink. And I used to party and stuff. And he would literally drive me, sit outside for hours while I'm inside partying, and then take us home. He never tried to be like, oh, just because I drink, you can't drink, or you can't hang out with your friends, or you can't, be young. He never ever tried to change me. He let me do me.
Forget about all the inherent dangers of sitting outside a club in the middle of the night or driving a car full of intoxicated people home. The fact that she thinks it's a flex to go out and smoke and drink until she's drunk with friends, while her man, who values his future so much that he's disciplined enough to refrain from drinking, smoking, and clubbing, sits in the car for hours until she's ready to leave. That makes her a stranger to his level of determination, his focus, his struggles, and his dreams. She later goes on to say how, because of a previous situationship, she hated all men when she first met Travis. And she was toxic. So toxic that he put up with a lot of stuff. But because of Travis, she's no longer toxic.
I was very toxic. I had a lot of toxic traits, and Travis was very patient with me. He did not force me to do anything or change who I was. He waited until I changed myself. So now I don't think I'm toxic at all. I don't have any toxic traits no more.
I am delivered!
So because her initial hate for men made her seem hard to get, Travis, as a natural competitor, pulled out all the stops to get this girl, allowing her to basically walk all over him and call the shots. So because she was the center of attention and getting her own way, there was no reason for her to be toxic. But as soon as Travis started to receive that worldwide attention and recognition, that toxicity started to peek right back through. But this time, the world saw it and called it out. From turning away from his kiss and arguing with him about trivial things as the whole world was watching after his team's big win over Oklahoma State, to interrupting his meet and greet for his Adidas deal just to ask him whether she should stay with him or go shopping. Not to mention letting the whole world know during a couple's Q&A on their YouTube channel that Travis wasn't her type. His fiance's behavior is looking sus to just about everyone, which has led to people like Bow Wow trying to point out the glaring red flags. Heck, Travis's own coach, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime himself, even tried to warn Travis because his own experience with his ex-wife left such an impact, over 13 years after filing for divorce, that Coach Prime was recently filmed running away from her after a game. Deion even volunteered to do Travis's prenup.
I think he done got married on us and ain't told nobody.
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. I
Let me
like
know.
it.
Because I'm going to do your prenup for you. It's going to be about this thick.
Travis Hunter's supporters worldwide have tried to open his eyes, but so far, the only response has been a TikTok from his fiancée, where she not only refuses to take accountability for stealing the spotlight away from Travis's achievements, but she tries to put dirt on Travis's name by calling him a cheater while attempting to gaslight people to explain away the not her type comments. Then disrespects both him and others by calling his supporters bird brains.
I just think people are just finding every single little thing and trying to make it something it's not. And then bird brain individuals are just accepting what they see online.
Who the f*** you think you talking to?
Travis later revealed that after the attention her behavior received, his fiancée decided to get so drunk as to basically pass out, which could have led to anything happening to her, since Travis referred to it as OD levels. Meanwhile, Travis, who has had coaches, announcers, scouts, and randos critiquing his every play for years, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA, and is on track to being the #1 pick for the NFL 2025 draft, has put himself in a situation where a drunk, seemingly non-melanated woman can with one emotional move try to bring all that to a screeching halt. Does this sound familiar to anyone else? At the beginning of 2023, Jonathan Majors was on the cusp of superstardom and sharing his world with a woman whom he had been dating off and on for around 2 years. And just 3 months later, he was living out his worst nightmare. Because he chose to ignore all the red flags that proved this woman was a stranger to his dreams, his standards, his struggles, and his hopes for the future. We see him running for his life from this strange woman he had entangled himself with. Jonathan, a man whose formative years are shaped by traumas like experiencing several evictions, being bullied by his peers, having his looks scorned by teachers, teenage homelessness, and being looked at with suspicion the older he grew, overcame the adversities and obstacles that tried to hinder his success with meditation and positive affirmations, like believing that there was more to life than what he had experienced so far, and that he was destined to be a great man, graduating with a master's from Yale in 2016, and eventually experiencing a seemingly meteoric rise in fame with a $20 million Marvel contract to play supervillain Kang the Conqueror, and also landing other starring roles in an established franchise like Creed and movies like Devotion. But instead of waiting to find a woman who could understand and match his discipline and determination, he allowed appearance and a soft voice to drown out the red flags of her constant partying and drinking that revealed themselves over the course of their relationship. Jonathan ignored those red flags and connected himself to a stranger who resented his having standards and boundaries, and instead accused him of trying to control and emotionally manipulate her through those standards, which was made manifest in September of 2022, when instead of being truly remorseful that her drunken behavior in front of a colleague from Jonathan's latest movie set could detrimentally affect his career and ruin the plans that he was attempting to share with her, his ex-girlfriend saw this as a chance to secretly record him and set him up for ridicule for using the only frames of reference that he knew for remarkable women married to remarkable men. And Jonathan, who should have been on top of the world because his dreams were finally being realized, was instead in the depths of misery because of choosing to try to align himself with a stranger. A misalignment that less than 6 months later would prove to become the nightmare that he feared, And 8 months after that would have him crying in a courtroom as his lawyer fought for his freedom, because his fear of what happens to a melanated man in America when he calls the police came true. Because regardless of the fact that Jonathan Majors is the one who called the police when he found his unresponsive ex-girlfriend passed out in his closet, it was Jonathan whose reputation was tarnished and whose freedom was at stake. Now that's a cautionary tale for everyone about picking the right partner. Regardless of how long you've been with someone or what you may feel you owe them because they helped hold you down during a particular time in life, being unequally yoked with someone who is a stranger to your self-control, your focus, your dedication, your playfulness, your mindset is a recipe for destruction. And whether it's in the form of complaining about taking too long at practices, telling him to stop making playful faces, calling him annoying with looks of disdain, allowing herself to become a liability through drinking too much, or a constant need for his attention, all the wrong boxes are being checked. Now, Travis and his fiancée are currently planning to get married in May of 2025, a month after the NFL draft pick. And according to Travis, they are getting married in Tennessee, a state that does not require a minimum length of marriage for alimony to be awarded. And they chose that state because his fiancée wanted a good venue for everybody. Now, with such a recent example of what happens when the stranger danger warning is dismissed, hopefully Travis Hunter will stop ignoring all the red flags.
Travis Hunter fans trying to warn him after his fiancée exposes this major red flag.
When I met Travis, I met him at a time in my life where I hated men. I actually literally hated men. So I was very toxic. I had a... Run from me, I get some help!
Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Have fun today.